Good morning, everybody. Sí, yo ya me tomé mi cafecito, pero me hice un té. So, ahora voy a seguir con el té. Good morning. Ahora en la mañana, I want to talk to everybody. Share your video so that people know that we're live. Um, my phone is acting up. It's acting up cuando yo quiero platicar con ustedes. My goodness. Bueno, mientras que se junta más gente, porque sí tenemos un topic ahora en la mañana que quiero discutir con ustedes, ¿por qué no? Y quiero que nos juntemos todos aquí en el chisme. Estoy haciendo un té. Bueno, ya lo hice, miren. A ver, se mira. We're to 25. We're to 43. Guess what, people? We do need to talk about some things. And we do need to realize that there's a lot of rudeness going on the internet. And, it's unnecessary because todos somos hispanos, no le hace de donde seas. And I need you all to realize that this is a World Wide Web. I always tell everybody, we are on a World Wide Web. I hope that I have people in China, the Rio de Janeiro, Chile. Hi, everybody. And when does analyzing a video become harassment? If y'all have any comments, feel free to tell me. When does analyzing a video become harassment? Because anybody can analyze anybody's video. If that's what you're going to do, analyze a video, when does it turn into harassment? When does analyzing a video turn into harassment? And being a Hispanic or a Latino, that includes a lot of people. Dominicans, Salvadorians, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Spaniards. All of the races that I just mentioned fall into the Hispanic, Latino heritage. So when does analyzing a video become harassment? I don't have anybody commenting, but feel free to comment if you feel like you know when it becomes harassment. I think that it becomes harassment I have it on a filter chat, all messages, community moderation. I don't have nothing on. It's live. Participation mode. Anybody can participate. Subscribers only. I can move it. Hi, Lady Chapa. Finally got comments on here. Um, my my phone had gone out of network, and then it. Good morning, Maria Gonzalez, Patty Ramirez, Maria Chongos. Good morning, Ann Molina, Billy Arguano, Maria Chongos. Okay, so I was asking, when does analyzing a video become harassment, and can anybody analyze anybody's video? Um, you all know that I've always been the devil's advocate, and Ophelia does not like that, but I don't care. I'm gonna tell you that you can analyze anybody's video, including mine. But if you don't like the way my lipstick is right now, and you're gonna try to find defects on my lipstick, then that's not analyzing a video. That's criticizing me. If you don't like the shirt that I'm wearing, too bad. Buy your own. You know, wear your own stuff. Analyze your lipstick. Analyze your cow lashes. I don't have any. It's like it it starts becoming. Yes, Maria Chongos, freedom of speech does allow you to analyze any video on the subject that that video is talking about. If you're analyzing a video because you like the content and you want to try to put your opinion or your twist on that content, that's fine. But when you do start bashing the person that's talking on that video, and you start talking about what they're wearing, if their teeth are crooked or not, if they're from. A lot of people have the misconception. Let's go there first. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. It is an island that belongs to the United States. Anybody born in Puerto Rico belongs to the United States, is a citizen of the United States. And they fall into the Latino community. If you're racist against a nationality, then you're just plain racist. But when you start criticizing somebody because they have big boobs, crooked teeth, color of skin, then you're becoming a bigot and a racist, and you're not analyzing anybody's video. You are criticizing that person, and you are harassing that person. Patty Ramirez, belittling and degrading anyone is not analyzing. That's right. If you start belittling me because I had broken my front teeth and I had this implant done, and you can't afford one, you're not criticizing anything that I'm saying. You're criticizing and you're hating on me. Not that anybody helped to pay for those teeth, but for the last year, they've had a lot of content about my teeth. When they start making personal attacks, yes, Scarlett, and they try to hide behind the freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech if it's your speech. You have freedom of speech if it's your opinion. But when your opinion starts belittling somebody and constantly criticizing that person for their weight, for their wrinkles, for the way they dress, then your freedom of speech got thrown out the window by you yourself. It became harassment, and it was not freedom of speech. And we are here to discuss why people should not analyze anything. Because when they start analyzing videos, they forget that the only thing that their freedom of speech is gonna cover for them is the actual topic of the video. Anything else, if you talk about my boobs or if you talk about my two chins, because I do have them, I'm 61. Hello. I'm not 18. And even when I was 18, I think I weighed more than what I weigh now. So it's like when you start talking about people's weights, people's boobs, people's color, you become a harasser and you're not analyzing anything. Beyond personal attacks, Scarlett, beyond personal attacks. And the whole thing is that these platforms are not limited to the 956 area code. I have followers in California. I have followers in Germany. I have followers in Spain. I have followers in New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and China. So this is not a platform that is just for the 956 area. We are in a world wide web. If you're not a subscriber, please hit subscribe so that I can get to 1,000. I don't care if you're on the other side of the world. Follow me. Yes, Maria Chongos. When they get out of the subject of whatever video they decided that they were going to analyze, and they started criticizing and belittling the person that's talking on the video instead of the subject of the video, then that's when it became harassment. Necesitan un asadón. They need a hoe to be outside in the yard when they decide that everything that Yaya says is wrong. Let me tell everybody, as the devil's advocate for all these platforms, it's like, I don't know why they love to talk about Yaya when they know good and well that a year and a half ago, I think it was a year and a half ago, maybe it might be closer to 2, when Yaya started her platform. Yaya's platform was originally started to criticize all the platforms in the 956 area. And that is awesome because she keeps it real about what's going on over here. She doesn't have a certain platform that she's going to root for. She goes in and she says what she has to say about everybody. And they don't like that. They don't like that she knows all the gravy because she's been in the gravy for more than 5 years, but she didn't really start her own platform as far as analyzing until like a year and a half ago. She had her own platform on TikTok for cooking and for showing things that she loved to do. But a platform to criticize the other platforms is started like around 2 years ago, and I love it. I love that Yaya can do that. But when you start crossing the line and you start criticizing her physique, her husband, her children, her family, her dog, then you're in the wrong. You are harassing. Idle hands and bored minds are the devil's playground, Maria Chongos. It's like yesterday. I loved it. I loved Yaya's show yesterday when she was saying that somebody said that, all our sins are forgiven by Jesus. It's like, hello. Jesus told the sinner, your sins are forgiven Go and sin no more. I think I even put that it was in John 8, verse 11. But I'm not Bible thumping here. I'm just letting you know that your sins are forgiven and they will be forgiven because we are living in the grace. But if you keep doing it over and over and over, you're doing it willingly and you're not going to be forgiven for doing something that you know is a sin and you still keep doing it because you think that you're going to get away with it by saying, well, Jesus forgave my sins. It's like I'm not here to Bible thump anybody because I have my own pile of sins myself. But I'm not beyond telling anybody, get a life. If you start streaming a show because you want to be rude, that's on you. If you're analyzing a video, stick to the subject. Don't be criticizing the host that's doing that video because that's that person's content that you decided that you needed to go on that ride with. You decided that you were going to get that content and tag along. But then somewhere between I'm going to get this video and analyze it, you went to I'm going to criticize the host on the video, then you turned it into a harassment video. And I get those a lot. I choose to ignore a lot of them and they get mad at me because I tell them you're under my ankles. I think most of us Maria Chongos like to tell the truths only that convince us that they're the truths to our side. But Yaya has maintained her reality where she's going to criticize everybody across the board, and I love that. But we're not here to criticize if she's a Puerto Rican, a Mexican, a Spaniard, or a Cuban, or any other Hispanic race. We're not here for that. If you're going to analyze me for saying, hey, Angie went live and she was talking about when does it go from analyzing to harassment, that's fine. But when you start talking about Angie's teeth, Angie's hair, Angie's eyebrows, or Angie's wrinkles, then you started harassing Angie. They like to speculate a lot because they don't know everybody. I personally do not know Yaya, but I love her show. I have made requests from Yaya and she has done them for me. And I'll show you one of them right now because I have it right here on this chair. Yaya did this for me. She did it for me and I already sewed the pockets where I wanted them. I don't have to bend down and do the pockets or anything. So, yes, Yaya has done things for me that I have requested, but does that give me the right to be criticizing her? Or because my grandmother was a blue-eyed blonde, and she was, does that mean that I'm going to allow somebody to say that I'm not Hispanic? Or because my birth certificate says that I am white, I'm not going to claim my race? And my race on my birth certificate says white. When white becomes a minority, I will claim it. It's like, why not? But does that give somebody else the right to be saying, well, Gongora is just a halfie? No. I was born in Virginia, too far from the south borders of Mexico, between Mexico and Texas. I was not born in Texas. So I'll let anybody know. I will claim my birthright and I will claim my Mexican roots. But different there's a lot of different races in our culture. And if you want me to tell you, I can tell you how far down the Aztec line I go. I can. But I'll still claim white if it becomes a minority. Good morning, Hopi. It's Friday. Yes, the weekend is almost gone. Oh, let me tell you all, life is too short. Life is short, and people don't realize, or they don't want to realize it. They think, hey, I'm already up in the age. Just because I'm 61 and I tell people, yeah, if I go to jail, I'm going to get 3 free meals and a cot because I don't have to be fighting in there with anybody. People still get frustrated when they're in there. So it's like, but let's get real here. Patty Ramirez, in your opinion, when they analyze Velda, all you see is harassment. Well, that's because they're not analyzing any of Velda's topics. I've seen the other day she was showing some underwears on her video, and I thought that the material was pretty nice. She was even giving out the brand name of those underwears. And Velda wears some pretty nice underwears if she can just pull them out and show them to everybody, because why? Velda is not embarrassed of her size. So if you think you're going to belittle her by saying whatever you want to say, Anna's not embarrassed of her size. I'm not embarrassed of my size, because I'll tell anybody. I used to be 330 pounds, and I'm not anymore. At 180, I will tell you I was on that side, and now I'm on this side, and I'm happy where I'm at. Will I ever be 324 again? No. That doesn't mean that my weight doesn't fluctuate up and down. That just means that I'll probably never be 324 again. But does that give somebody the right to put her chins? I have them. So what? We're not here for that. The other day, I blocked somebody from one of my TikToks because they decided to be smart, Aliki, and asked me, how many times are you going to say raza? I'm going to say raza as many times as I want on my platform. When you get your own platform, you can do whatever the heck you want on it. But if I'm doing a TikTok and I'm saying buenos días, raza, a ti que chingados te importa? It's as simple as that. But you're going to question me on my platform? I don't think so. On my platform, nomás mis chicharrones truenan. You know, 2 weeks ago, I had done a video, and I had told everybody, when does push come to shove? And when these people start doing this, they're not actually realizing. That's when it starts getting close to push and shoving. When, yes, they most of the time they're gonna talk about my teeth and not about my expensive lipstick. Even the one that Yaya gave me is like really nice. Hopi sent it to her, or she bought it from Hopi, and then Hopi sent it to me. But no, these people do not know when. Well, actually, they do know that they're crossing the line, but they've been getting away with it because push hasn't come to shove. And the only way that push and shove come into play is when you catch them doing it on a live from a computer where you can strike them for harassing people. Good morning, Sharon. For harassing people, you can't strike any platform from a cell phone, and I've been telling you all for a while, you can't strike them when you're on a cell phone. And for Yaya, it's kind of hard because her platicas are only from her car to her job. But, I still love hearing her platicas because she's fair. But these people just want to be butting into what's none of their business as far as her weight or her family or her race. And it's like that's when you're crossing the line. Come at me, bro. The whole thing with these people is you know that there's a problem if there's an emoji and you never can see the person. Me, I have a problem with fake accounts. Like, I know that come at me, bro, is not your name. But the worst one that I have a problem with is the accounts that say, Jesus lives or Lily's forever or, stuff like that. Those kind of accounts are hater accounts and they're not Christian accounts. And if they come to my platform, it's usually just to reprimand me about what they don't like. Yeah, they keep hiding behind avatars, and it's like you get shocked when they go into a bakery and they actually show their faces, and you're like, she wasn't like that when I last saw her. But that's my opinion. Well, I have a lot of hair, but when it starts getting to this length, then it starts looking like it's like not that much, but so yeah, but then my shampoo, I put rosemary and castor oil in my shampoo that I use on the daily. And there's people that don't wash their hair every day, but I do. So it's like I think my hair grows fast. I cut it last month and it's already long. Claro, Hopi, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. We're just here to say that just like love and hate, there's a real thin line between love and hate. There's a real thin line between analyzing a video and crossing the line into harassing the person that's on the video. Patty, the whole thing is, sí, pasan cosas when they're harassing you, but if you allow them, what's been pissing them off the most is they've been at it for, you all know, 4 months. Between me and Ophelia on the daily. And we ignore them, and it gets on their nerves that we are ignoring them. And we will continue ignoring them because it's convenient for us to ignore them. And they get mad because, for me, they're beneath my ankles. I don't need to talk about them. Yes, it is a pattern behavior, and they are not getting out of that pattern. They are in that patterned behavior, and they've been there since they started their show. And then they get out of the patterned behavior only to say that they're the victims. Thank you, Patty. I'm pretty sure Yaya's countdown is for Anna's birthday. Puro potty, puro potty. I think it's for Anna's birthday. Ellie like all like straightened out. Estaba toda pintadita. She looked cute. At least that's the part I heard when she said she was going to dinner. But yeah, she's been celebrating all month. No sé por qué. Está diciendo my birthday's coming up, my birthday's coming up. Hello, KT Portugal. Good morning. But yeah, we're here to say, push comes to shove for a lot of people. Guess what? I went to pay my water bill yesterday, and I was shocked. I'm like taking pictures and everything, and the girl was laughing because I'm like, I came last month and there was no door in between this hall and you. So what happened? Who got threatened in this city hall in this little one called town that they had to put a door with a code to open it? Because usually you had to go through that little hall to go and pay your. It used to be the taxes, but then they moved them from there to the other office. But that little hall got used to go pay the cemetery plots and stuff like that. So you had to go down that little hall, and now they put a door, and I was like, oh, who got threatened in this city hall that y'all had to put a protective door with a code on it? I thought that was funny. For a one cow town, they sure are protecting irrelevant people in those offices. But I just thought I'd throw that one out there. Well, Patty Ramirez, what countdowns do, like the one that I had that was 15 days, 14 days, 13 days, what those kind of countdowns do and what it's doing for Yaya, it's keeping them there. And it's letting everybody know that for as much as they say that they hate watching Yaya's show, they're there. If they have to talk about a countdown that Yaya is holding on her show every day on their show, that means that they were there. Isn't that a shame? They can't get up in the morning and say, what a lovely day it is. Let me see what I'm going to go and look at outside. I know if I go outside of my door right now, I have a hibiscus plant that every other day has beautiful red flowers on it. My sister-in-law gave it to me last year, and she actually gave me money, and I went and bought that hibiscus plant, and I told her, I'm planting this hibiscus because every morning when I get out of my house, or every day when I get out of my house, it's going to have flowers for me, and they're going to be from you. And every day for a whole year, it has had beautiful red flowers on it, and they're big, big flowers. I got out the other day, and my hibiscus plant wasn't there. And it was almost as tall as me. And I'm like, what the heck happened? It had been windy the day before, but I didn't go outside. Where's my tree? Did somebody come all the way up here? They had the nerve to come all the way up my driveway and to my... But then I saw that my de Cristo are right there, and they didn't move them. So where's my tree? I'm like, did they come from the side? So then I start looking, and the wind had got my hibiscus, and it was sideways, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I tied it up, so it's... Maria Chongos, you picked the best words. Yes, but let's just be real. I mean, if you're going to criticize somebody for whatever they're doing on a show, criticize that and stick to that, because it does become harassment. And, whether you like it or not, that's why all these reports get done. Maria Chongos. In reality, a lot of that would probably be a very good topic for. We're having internet problems, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you all go. But just remember, be nice. It doesn't cost anything. Stick to the. It doesn't cost anything. Y'all have a nice day.